rainy afternoon here in South Bend, Notre Dame defeated Duke by a score of 8-6. All 8 of their goals for the Irish were unassisted, led by 3 from Sergio Perkovic and a pair from Ryder Garnsey. The Irish never led until 4:45 to play in the game, when 2 of those 3 Perkovic goals gave them a 7-6 lead. The defense held Duke to just 2 second-half goals, led by, I thought, outstanding play in the defensive midfield from long-stick midfielder John Sexton and freshman short-stick Drew Shantz. And they limited Miles Jones to just 1 assist, and he had 6 turnovers on the game, so not his best performance.
Welcome to the Epic Inside Lacrosse Game Day Recap. I'm Matt Kinnear here with Dan Aburn. After a snowy weekend of lacrosse, Sunday night action in the Big Ten, Maryland beat Penn State in overtime. Dan, what was your takeaway from this game?
It was probably the best game of the weekend as far as TV games go. The last game coming in strong for us, but it was a really even game early. Maryland led 3-2 at one point, but then Penn State just blew the doors open offensively, going on a 6-1 run. Mike Sutton had 3 goals by the 9:39 mark in the second quarter, and that's when John Tillman called timeout, and that timeout actually proved to be a really crucial turning point. Maryland pretty much dominated for the rest of the game. They went on a 7-2 run. They won 7-12 faceoffs, and Kyle Burnlow had 9 saves going from that point. And Maryland offensively didn't really do anything special. I thought Mike Aronow for Penn State did a really good job of shutting down Matt Rambo. But I think the big takeaway for this game was that Henry West had 3 goals. He's had a rough season offensively for the Terps, and for him to get a hat trick was huge, I thought.
Hey everybody, this is Jeff Shannon with Inside Lacrosse Magazine here at Homewood Field. Today I call Johns Hopkins' dramatic 13-12 Big Ten victory over Ohio State. Kind of a wild back and forth game between the 2 Big Ten programs. Ryan Brown led the Blue Jays with 3 goals and 1 assist. Holden Cotone, Kyle Marr, and Shaq Stanwyck all scored 2 goals apiece for the Blue Jays. Ohio State's Johnny Pearson led the way with 4 goals, and Carter Brown added 2 goals and 2 assists for the Buckeyes. Faceoffs were key for Ohio State. They won 18 of 28, but Hopkins shot an efficient 13 for 31 against the Buckeyes defense. Biggest story of the day, though, was Johns Hopkins coach Dave Petramala, who's back on the sidelines for the Blue Jays. He had missed 4 games due to a back infection. He coached on the sidelines gingerly today. He was using a scooter, and there were several times when you could tell that his back was definitely hurting him. Post-game, he talked about his experience. The goal was to be back by next week's game against Penn State, but he said he wanted to hear of it and wanted to be back for today's game. It's still going to be a process for him on the sidelines for the Blue Jays. Moving forward, it's good to see Coach Dave Petramala back here at Homewood Field.
Well, obviously, when you're missing the big guy, there's an obvious, there's something that was there before, a familiarity that is not there, both on the field and practice.
I don't think I've had that personality on the sideline that we all kind of lean on as players, and it's definitely a different feeling. And when he came back today, it was right back to our same old routine, our same old vibes on the sideline, and I think we, as players, I think we gelled into it really quickly.
I mean, it's great to have the big guy back now. So I mean, yeah, it was just it was great to have him back for that. So.
Over in the Ivy League, up at historic Franklin Field in Philadelphia, Brown topped Penn 17-6. It was a bounce-back win for Brown after losing a midweek tilt against Bryant last week. Coach Lars Tiffany, after the game, said this game came down to emotional strength, and that started with their goalie, Jack Kelly. Jack Kelly had 15 saves, was crucial in transition, and just played an overall excellent game. Dylan Malloy was a monster like he usually is. 8 goals, 1 assist in the win. This is a Brown team that, after that Bryant game, they could have gone either way. They could have lost a few games there, but they had a really, really strong Thursday night practice in the pouring rain. That led to a game Saturday in the pouring rain and the snow, where they just came out with more energy than Penn and just topped the Quakers in a dominant fashion.
Hi, this is Peter Katrumpis reporting for Inside Lacrosse here at Keenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Following up on a 16-8 win by the UNC Tar Heels over the Virginia Cavaliers. It was a dominating performance as 10 different scorers put together a run that put the Tar Heels up by as many as 10 goals, leading 14-4 early in the fourth quarter. Not that UVA couldn't score, but they just never had the ball long enough. Stephen Kelly dominated a face-off X to help Carolina dominate on the ground as well by a 31-17 margin. Not having the ball was a problem for UVA, which Coach Dom Starsia pointed out. From here on in, with an 0-3 record in ACC play, the Cavaliers will just take it one game at a time. That's also the tact that UNC will take, as Joe Bresci wants his team to practice harder in practice during the week, which makes games almost easier, so to speak. Sitting at 2-0 and undefeated in ACC play, the Tar Heels now have a spot in postseason consideration. From Chapel Hill, North Carolina, this is Peter Katrumpis reporting for Inside Lacrosse.
Over in the Patriot League, that league winds down its season. Navy had a convincing win over Colgate, 16-9. Army dominated BU, 15-4. The military academies look to be in control of their destiny, looking to lock up that #1 seed for the Patriot League tournament. The heated rivalry, the best rivalry in sports, is this weekend, and there's even more on the line. That's it for the Epic IL Game Day Recap show. Be sure to check the Epic scoreboard all season long. I'm Matt Kinnear. This is Dan Aburn.
And don't forget to gear up for the season with Epic's Gen 6 Dragonfly Shaft, their Ultralight Otter Mesh, and the Hawk Sequel Head.